Hi there! All magazines aren't made the same. I have the 13-shot Daystate magazine and I have the 10-shot Daystate magazine. I'm going to show you how wildly different these two magazines can be. So not even 30 meters, 40 meters away, I have two identical targets and I have 10 pellets in each magazine. So I'm going to fire 10 off using hopefully semi-decent technique, and we're going to see how different the groups are. Okay, so I'm not happy with that. That to me is not good. I'd be very disappointed. But check it out. I'm going to put the 10-shot magazine in. I'm using the same pellets in both magazines. And I'm going to shoot on the target to the side. So check this out. Okay, so there was a screamer in there, but I think that it's safe to say that it's very easy to see that there is a big difference in the quality of those two groups. Now, I'm not over the moon with the one using the 10-shot magazine. However, what this does show you is that you really have to think about all of the variables that are involved in airgun shooting. So not only do you have to think about the pellets and how clean the barrel is, and whether your scope is aligned, and whether you're comfortable with the gun, you also need to think about what style of magazine that you're using. All right? So what I'm going to do is, because I think this could be quite interesting, I'm going to use the same... I'll change pellets now. I was using JSB heavies in that experiment. I have some of these nearby. So just, I don't know if this is I'm going to say it's for fun, but what I'm just going to do is, just to demonstrate, I'm going to put 10 pellets into each of the magazines, and I'm going to see if the same pattern is observed with these two. All right, so if I just put 10 pellets in this magazine, I'll aim for a slightly different place on the target, so hopefully the two groups won't interfere with one another. But there's no rhyme or reason to this other than just testing my initial statement of the fact that you have to think about the magazines that you use in your guns as well, because I'd have been very disappointed with the 13-shot mag. So if I shoot at, what number shall I shoot at? The number 3. Okay, and I'm out. Okay, so there's a cluster there. There was a flyer, but flyers happen. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put 10 pellets in the 13-shot magazine, and the reason why I'm putting 10 is just because 10 is the maximum of the other magazine. And we're going to see how this groups. Now my expectation is that this group would be worse than the 10-shot magazine. And the reason why I'm making that suggestion is because with the JSB heavies, the group wasn't as good. So one more, and we've got 10 in there. All right, so check it out. I'm gonna aim for the number 3 again. Okay, no. In that instance, I would say that that group was better. I don't know why the first two went so well. It's what happens. What else do we have? RS Diabolos. These are the light ones. So, why not? Let's put 10 in, and we will see if there's any difference in the way that these pellets group in this magazine. I'll aim for a different point on the target. These are light, so I would expect I might aim for something on the bottom of the target just to see how it all changes. But the point of this is just to illustrate that you have to really fine-tune your equipment. There's many variables you need to think about. So I will aim for the bottom number. Whoa, that was a screamer. Okay, that was a lovely group with the magazine that I didn't think was going to do as good a job. So, let's put the RS pellets in the 10-shot magazine and see if there is a difference. This is an interesting experiment. And initially, when I first started out this morning, I was just thinking about my zeroing at the start of the day. I was using the 13-shot magazine and wasn't that impressed. But it would seem that it's representing itself rather nicely. So I'm going to aim for the same position on the bottom target. So that's the 6 o'clock. Whoa. Now that's terrible. That's one of the worst groups I've ever seen. So just to test whether this is me or not, I'm going to put the RS pellets back in to the 13-shot magazine and see if I can replicate the decent group. Some of those pellets were so wayward that it surprised me. Now, I'm outside. It's got windier as the days progressed. I'm going to put 13 pellets in this one because this is probably going to be my last one. I know that begins to add in a variable, but what it means is that I've got time just to enjoy these 13 shots. Plenty of juice left in the gun. And what shall I aim for? I will aim for the leftmost number. Wow. Okay, now it's obviously got windier, or it's windier 40 meters away because the group was drifting, but that's a good group. So what this has really proven, to me at least, I'm not saying this is a scientific fact now, but what I'm saying is that this is evidence that you really need to start considering, or I really need to start considering, more of the variables that are at play here. Not only do you have to think about the pellet choice, you also need to start thinking about the actual method by which the pellet is delivered. And I'm going to upload all of that, this whole thing as it stands. But that's really interesting proof that my initial idea was wrong. All right, that my initial do I have any heavies here? Yes, that my initial suggestion that the 13-shot magazine was inferior, it was wrong. I think the thing that I'm just going to do just to finish is I'm going to put 10 or maybe 13 pellets of the JSB heavies. Now, the JSB heavies, the 10.44 grains in 177, are for me the most dependable and reliable pellet over like long distances, and I consider 40 meters a long distance. I would imagine that the majority of the groups that are up there are going to be, you know, roughly a 50 pence piece, which, you know, I would be happy with. I've shot better than that, but again, this isn't about my skills. This is about facilitating our understanding. So let me go for the O in the top left Milbro. Wow. That's crazy. And I'm out. Right, just to finish, and this will be the last one, I'll do the same thing in the oh excuse me, I just moved the camera, in the 10-shot magazine, and if my memory serves, the 10-shot magazine group should actually be reasonably good. Obviously saying that, it's probably going to look like a shotgun, but that's cool. This is a deep exploration into pellet choice and magazine choice. A fairly deep exploration. Dang. Okay, same thing. Okay, yes, and that group is better than the last one. So, I'm actually happy with that. That really does tell you that there are more variables at play here than one might first imagine. And there's some proof. It's a dark art, airgun shooting. There are so many things to consider. It's not necessarily as easy as saying, oh, I'll get this gun and put this pellet through it and it will be okay. We've just shown that the magazine choice as well as the pellet choice can make a significant difference, and that's something to think about. And I would imagine that it would be the same in other guns other than the Red Wolf. So before you start writing off your gun, have a think about the pellets that you're using. Have a think about the magazine that you're using. What about the single shot tray? Is that going to help? So there you go. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.